So now that we can multiply and divide decimals, the next thing to learn is to be able to round off decimal numbers, which is called rounding. But before that, we need to have a look at some different types of decimal numbers. And the first type of decimal that we've actually seen before is called terminating decimals. Terminating decimals. So terminating decimals are decimal numbers that finish. So something like 0.5, there's one decimal place value, but it finishes at the 0.5. Or something like 0.12 is also a terminating decimal because it finishes after the 2. But some other types of decimals actually go on forever, and these are called recurring decimals. And some examples of recurring decimals are 0.333333 repeating on forever, or sometimes more than one number can repeat. So 0.271, 271, 271, and that repeats on forever. So when we write recurring decimals, we can't write that number repeating on forever, so we use a shortcut method, and we use a dot above that number, or that place value. So 0.33333 is shown like this with a dot above. If you have more than one number that's repeating, like this one, 0.271, the way we show that is recurring is by using a line above all three of the numbers. And that tells us that it's the 2, 7, and the 1 that repeat. We have 1, 2, 3, and we go on forever, repeating. You can also use dots to show that as well. You use a dot at the start and at the end, and that tells us the same thing. So now that we've seen these different types of decimals, we need to work out how do we actually figure out if a decimal is terminating or recurring. And the easiest way to do that is to go from a fraction and convert that to a decimal. So if we have a fraction of a quarter, remember that that a fraction is the same as divide. So 1/4 is the same as 1 divided by 4, and we can do short division to figure that out. So we'll set up our short division, 1 divided by 4. How many times does 4 go into 1? We can't do it, so we need to carry the 1 to the next place value. We had a 0, and we've carried the 1, so now we have a 10. How many times does 4 go into 10? 2, with 2 left over, carry the 2, and then how many times does 4 go into 20? 5. And our decimal places go up as well. So 1/4 we worked out as 0.25, and because we had no remainders, this one is terminating. So the answer is just 0.25. And it's not recurring at all. Let's work out another one. 5/9. So to work out if it's terminating or recurring as a decimal, we'll divide 5 by 9. 5 divided by 9. Because a fraction means divide, it's the same thing. So we'll set up our short division. 5 divided by 9. 9 into 5 0 times. Carry the 5 across. 5 9s are 40. 5. So we have 5 with 5 remainder, and 9 goes in 5 times again, 5 remainder. So in this one we can see straight away that we have 5s repeating over and over. So this decimal must be recurring. So the answer for this one we'll write as 0.5 recurring as our answer.